One of the things that we leaned into was we gotta meet the tangible needs in the community. Like if a local church is in the community should feel that the local church is there. And one of the ways that happens is by meeting the tangible felt needs in the community. So Kaiser, back in 2013, they conducted a needs assessment in different areas all across the city. And they found that this area, 95823, was a at-risk community. And for a variety of reasons, but two of the reasons why this community it was at risk was because there was a lack of healthy food options. There was an abundance of fast food and other convenient food. And there was safety was a concern. The violence in this community was a concern. So as a church, we pushed into those realities. We pushed into, okay, so how do we do our part to help the community feel safer? And how do we do our part to make sure that everybody has access to healthy food? When this church was built, there was nothing around here. The community college across the street just had one building. It has a full campus now. The park that's across the street didn't exist. So this church really was built with the community surrounding it. So the interesting thing about that is the community was historically white when the church was built. And as the community started to build out, the community started to change complexion. It started to look different. It started to represent all of the different racial and ethnic groups here in Sacramento. In 2020, as we know, we had the global pandemic. And by this time we were, maybe 50 or so people will be coming on Saturday mornings to get fresh produce. We ended up having a little more than cans. So maybe about 30 people were getting food in the pantry. 2020 hit and the numbers tripled.
We are giving out food to the community every week. We're making sure people get food resources that they need. Food that has been donated that would have most likely otherwise been wasted and thrown away in a landfill. So we're keeping the food out of a landfill, and which is much better for the environment, and it's using a resource God gave us that then people can utilize. They can eat, they can be healthy, they can share it with their family, with their neighbors, with anyone in need.
Common ground became common ground before we even knew it. It started off when a family, the Saturn family, reached out to a pastor after a Sunday afternoon and was like, I noticed that field back there. Can my family farm on it? And it was that yes that literally planted the seed. And that's created what we have today, the Me and Covenant Church and the garden in the back.
Some of our food partners, when they give us food, it's close to the expiration date. So instead of wasting it, throwing it away, we come back here, we compost it. So there's a team that comes super early on Saturday morning and they're chopping it up into as small pieces as they can. Then they throw it in this bin, and this needs to be turned every day. So somebody comes and they take what's in this bin, they put it over this one, they go all the way to the end. And by the time it's done, there's compost that we're now able to put back in the garden to grow more food, to get back in the community. So it's a full cycle that we got going on here.
What we want to do is we want to contribute food that is culturally appropriate to our community. As you saw in our distribution, it's full of different different tribes, tongues, There's space for fellowship and there's space for community. And we wanted to welcome everyone. And that's our vision, right? We want to welcome everyone with this heart of God's love and hospitality.
See, most of the people that make this happen are volunteers. They're folks that believe in this mission of not only food justice, but caring for the community and caring for God's creation. And so we have folks distributing food. We have folks going out to grocery stores to bring food donations back that are going to be discarded. We have people that are sorting through the food and they're making sure that it's good to go, it's beautiful, that people will eat it. And we have people that are restocking the shelves, and we have people that are registering our guests when they come. And then we have volunteers in the garden that weekly, multiple times a week, they're out pulling weeds, planting, watering, making sure the plants have everything they need to grow. And so with that combination, each month we have over probably 120, 130 volunteers that help us out each month. And so that means over the span of when the Common Table started giving out food and started this whole process, we've had hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that have given their time, their own energy, their abilities to make sure that this happens, and all for God's glory and for our neighbor's good.
So the food's important, but it's just so much more than just the food that's being offered here. It's an opportunity to connect with people, to meet your neighbor maybe for the first time, to encourage one another, to exchange stories, to give testimonies, to pray for one another. It's an opportunity for the community to really become family. And that's what you sense here, that's what you feel here. Even the artwork on our campus represents that story. The idea that everybody's voice matters, everybody has a story, and we're better together.